Hello everyone. Today we are talking about impact positions. So we're going to take a look at what the best level players do and what the difference between that and a lot of amateurs do, and how we can work on getting into a good impact position and feeling those feels in a drill that will really help us do this. So first let's look at the top level players, the elite level ball strikers. What are the two big things that they do as opposed to everybody else? Number one is where their hands are at impact. At the very worst, their hands are on top of the golf ball, but most of them, their hands are a little bit ahead at impact. We know this is a big difference between pros and amateurs. Most amateurs, their hands are going to be behind the golf ball, and they're going to be flipping and releasing, trying to lift the golf ball in the air, as opposed to hitting down and through the golf ball with their hands forward. That brings us to the second part of hitting down through the golf ball. All your top level players are going to be descending, hitting downward into the golf ball with their hands on top or ahead. Most amateurs, they are going to be trying to lift the golf ball up in the air, hitting up at the golf ball, or maybe even being even with the golf ball. So how can we get the feels and sensations of getting a good impact? Well, I have a really good drill that I give to a lot of my players, and I like to call this the drag drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up with a golf ball, and we're going to just move off of the golf ball here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pick the club up. I have a 7-iron here, and we're just going to rotate it back to the trail foot. So I'm not trying to drag my hands back to the trail foot. I'm just picking the club up, rotating my hands back to the trail foot. Now from here, I'm just going to apply a little pressure forward and down through the club, so you're pushing down into the ground or the mat. And what you should feel is a little bit of pressure on your right pointer finger, as well as a little bit of cupping on your right wrist. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to just drag this handle forward until we reach the lead foot. Now you notice when I do this, my body automatically responds. So when I get to my lead foot, my right hip and right side are collapsing into my left side. I'm getting all my pressure onto my lead foot. My right foot has very little pressure here right now. We've noticed that my chest and shoulders have rotated a little bit to the left and have gotten very much on top of the golf ball. So when we get to this lead foot, what we're now going to do is we're going to take the belt buckle and the handle, and we are going to rotate them up and left and be parallel left of our target. So when we do this drill, some things we want to pay attention to is our club path and our club face, because this can help build club path and face awareness as well. So if you're somebody who tends to slice the ball starts left, goes way to the right, you'll notice that your tendency is wanting to pull the club left. So when you do this drill, one of the things I would focus on is actually pushing the club out to the right, getting your hands going a little bit further to the right. If you're somebody who tends to hook the golf ball, we're going to do just the opposite. I want you to get your hands going a little bit to the left. So what I would have somebody do is I would have them do this drill 2 or 3 times, drag up and through, drag up and through, drag up and through. Now I wouldn't go straight into hitting full shots. We're actually going to do a little shot. So what I'm going to have the player do is set up to the ball. You're then going to lift the club parallel to the ground. So I haven't moved my hand side to side at all. I've just lifted the club straight up. Now I'm going to rotate it to the right. So I haven't dragged my hands to the right at all like this. Notice my hands have moved here. All I've done is lift and rotate. So now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little turn to where my hands feel like they're just outside my right thigh. And then from here, I'm just going to rotate through, trying to feel that drag drill, feeling that pressure on the back of the right wrist, as well as the right pointer finger. And I'm just going to hit what feels like a 25, 30 yard pitch shot with the 7-iron. So let's give that a try. Just like that. Now, if you have access to a launch monitor, this would be really helpful if you're somebody who tends to slice the ball or hook the golf ball, because paying attention to these numbers can really help you. So the numbers I'd be paying attention to would be swing direction, club path and face angle if you're on TrackMan. If you don't have the swing direction, that's all right. As long as you can get club path and face angle, that'll be really helpful as well. So if you're somebody who tends to slice the golf ball, you're going to see a club path that is most likely going to be going to the left of your target for a right-handed player, and you're going to see a face angle that is going way to the right. So as I mentioned earlier, if this is you, what I would focus on when you do the drag drill is having the hands go further to the right than from where they started back here by your trail foot, get further away from you when you get up to your lead foot, and then have your hands exit out a little bit more to the right, up and around. And when you do that, feel like that club face, when you drag it, is a little bit close. So trying to rotate that club with your hands a little bit more close. We don't want to rotate it with our shoulders and our upper arms. We just want to rotate it with our hands a little bit more close. And then when you do the little punch shot drill, try to feel that same sensation to hit that little bit of a hook, like this. So that one started a little bit to the right and tried to hook around. Now it won't hook a whole lot with the 7-iron on a short shot like this, but as long as you see the ball starting to the right a little bit and trying to turn back left, that is a positive motion. So now if you're somebody who already hooks the ball, we're going to do the exact opposite. What we're going to do when we set up and do the drag drill is we're going to feel like that club face stays a little bit more to the right, and then we're going to drag the hands a little bit more to the left. So you're going to feel like you're getting closer to this left thigh. And then when you exit, you're going to exit a little bit more around to the left with the hands. So when we do this correctly and we do the little punch shot drill, it should look something like this. So that ball started to the left. It tried to curve back to the right a little bit. Like I said, it won't curve a whole lot on a short shot like this, but as you slowly build into bigger and bigger swings, you should see that shot shape curve a little bit more. So I would do this drill a bunch until you get really, really comfortable and can hit the shots the direction you want. And then as you get more comfortable, you can then build it into bigger and bigger swings. Eventually to where you get a full swing where you'd be able to feel like your hands are ahead at impact and hopefully get the face and path matching up really, really well. Looking something like this. Oh, that was a little bit to the right, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about going back and redoing that. But that gives you the idea of what we're trying to accomplish. So for example, I used to be somebody who hooked the ball a lot, so me feeling the golf ball go to the right is actually a really good positive for me. So I hope this drill really helps you out. I really hope it helps you get into a good impact position. You start to really feel and understand what that looks like and feels like. If you have any questions, please let me know. Shoot me a message. And I hope you like my channel as well as subscribe to my channel.